Well, we've all heard the old adage that a dull knife will cut you faster than a sharp knife. That's not my experience. I've always been cut with sharp implements, not dull ones. I can see why, though, that people might get cut with the dull one because they're pressing harder, trying to make it work as if it was sharp, hence they cut themselves. Today we're going to talk about how to sharpen your axe, hatchets, knives, machetes, whatever implements you have for cutting, chopping, slicing, and a few more that if you're out in the field and you don't have anything to sharpen with, show you how to find stuff to sharpen it with. My name's James, Nature's Outdoor School, so let's get started. So there's a lot of ways to sharpen your implements out in the field and at home. But at home you got electricity, so you could use something like a work sharp, something like this, and you set your angle here. For knives, most knives are about 20 degrees, 21 degrees. Kitchen knives for sure, maybe even 18. But you set it here, there's a platform here, perfectly level. And then your belt goes around and you slide it up. There you go, sharpening. Very easy to use, fast. But we're not talking about this. We're talking about in the field when you don't have something like this. What do you use? Well, like axes are anywhere from 23, 24 degrees to maybe 30, 32 degrees. So they take a different angle. But most knives are 20. So what I've done is make a wedge out of wood, something like this. I don't know if you can see it like that. I have it applied on top of sandpaper because most of your belts, even this work sharp, is basically sandpaper. But you can take fine sandpaper and go up in the grit. You want to keep going on a knife that's really stubborn. But here I got this, and what that does is set the angle for me. There's 20 degrees, and then you just bring your knife down. I don't know if you can see that, but something like that. Bring it down, do 10 of those, turn it around, do the other side, change your paper, get it finer. You're gonna get a sharp knife, and this is out in the field. Now, if you don't make this angle, this 20-degree angle, and you think, well, what's 20 degrees? Maybe I don't have it right. The second method is to take a puck. This is a sharpening puck, they call it. Now, you can have your traditional square one here for sharpening too. You got a fine side and a rough side. What you want to do on the fine, let's say we're going to take the fine side. You take your knife. Let's see if I can get this. So you put it on the edge and bring it up till you can't see any more light on the edge of the blade, the very edge of it. That's your degree that you want to start going around in little circles to sharpen your knife both sides. All right, then you flip it over and do the finer side. This will work really well too, almost like sandpaper. And same thing with here. You could put our little wedge on the end here, just like I did. Take some bank line and tie it on there. And now, same thing. You bring it, you got the edge, you come down on here. So you don't have to guess to it. What I like about checking the edge of the blade and sharpening it that way is you can use out in the field a rock if you don't find it. Because the same thing, principle applies. Get your angle, and then you start moving. Usually not the knife, but you use the stone in small circles. So if you go like this, so. Of course, we've heard of ceramic rods. Now you could carry one of these in your pocket and it works fine, or you can put it in a little holder that they make for it. There's your 20 degrees. All these things take practice, and once you get it down, the 20 degrees is a stick in your head. You don't really need to have a gauge for it. And what you want to do is put water on your stones, no matter what you're using. Much better on your knife with stone. You could use oil. This puck is a water puck, so use water, but you could use, gun oil or vegetable oil or something like that. Again, when you set your angle on there, make sure there's no light coming through, and then you just draw toward you, little ones like that. And I'll show you how it got sharp afterwards, and then flip it over. You can find different grit stones too. This is you can hear the difference on this one. A lot grittier, more like sandstone. So I would start with this and work up to something that's really smooth, like this one. And not much smoother than ceramic, so the stone, you can see, kind of mirrors that. Ceramic tiles, you could break off a piece of this and use that too. Now, how do you know if your knife is sharp yet? You're gonna cut a few things. Well, traditionally, people take a piece of paper. Take a piece of paper and see if it slices. Slices really nice. And I use this method to find out. What you do is you put your thumbnail, now you're not going to cut yourself, don't worry, and see if the knife will just stick on it by itself, okay? It'll just stop it from moving. I don't know if you can see that, but this is definitely sharp enough to say it stopped. Then I go and just draw it across the top of my nail, and you can find out any spots that aren't perfect, you might say. And when you get to that point, you're close to stopping to get the final movement on it. I like to use a belt because it's handy. I just take my belt off. And usually I just step on the ground on one end to hold it tight, hold it up, and you're just going to start stropping back and forth on this piece of leather. And stropping is usually 2 degrees beyond, 23 degrees. 2 or 3 degrees past your 20. And you just burn it out. Now you don't cut into it like that. You draw it away from the leather. Okay? It's kind of common sense, but a lot of people start going like this. That's not the way you do it. Now axes work great with the puck. Of course, you're going to put water on the puck, and you can really see your angle really clear from that point. So you look at the edge until you can't see any more light coming through. There you go. And then you just start doing little small circles. All right? Flip it over, do the same thing. Yeah, I've been out in the field with people that are carrying a belt knife or even a pocket knife. And always I'm curious. I said, let me see how sharp your knife is. I'd say 50% of the time they have a dull knife. And to me, that's frustrating for me to carry around a dull knife, because that's what a knife is for, is cutting, so you want it sharp. So we gave you a few ideas of hacks how to approach that if you need to sharpen. And now, river rocks work great, but try to find a flat one as much as possible. But if you do those little circles and take your time, you will get it sharp. Or take something with you. Take ceramic, the traditional ones. But it's really satisfying to be out in the field and do it the old-fashioned way with nothing but a rock. And you can get it as sharp almost as using ceramic stones. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, push that button. See you down the road.